The Ultimate Pool Champions League, brought to you by vinny.co.uk.
But it's difficult to do that.
It is, and we were talking off air while we were on the break there about what he was trying to do there with that last shot. Was he trying to play a cannon, which there was no need to? If he was trying to play the positional shot, he's got it just all wrong. He can only have been trying to play the positional shot and maybe just got it a shade on the thick side, and on the thinner side than he thought, and it's overrun by too far. Even then, he still had a chance at the 8-ball. But he is still very much involved in tonight. He still gets a point there. He still has qualification in his own hands, or he'll feel like it is, winning his next 2 matches, and he'll feel like he'll be in. Of course, he could end up in a 6-red shootout if that happens. Mick has more to do, though. But a good start, good break. 2 yellows by his hand are awkward. Yeah, I could just see him working it out. Is there a room, if he puts the cue ball where he's queuing up now, get on the yellow to the top right, and if he gets on that one, he can just drift onto the one to the left of it, get to the left-hand side of it.
It's worth pointing out as well how massive a game this is in the night, but mainly for Mick. Stevie would, of course, be devastated with the defeat, would leave him on the precipice, but a defeat would see Mick Hill out. He can't qualify with just 1 win and 2 defeats.
Yeah, Mick absolutely needs to get the points on the board, doesn't he?
Worth pointing out, though, we sort of monitor this every single week. We've yet to see it, but the 4-way 6-red shootout is in play with the draw. The only way it can happen is with all 4 players ending on 4 points, which is a win, a draw, and a defeat.
We've only seen 1 3-way 6-red shootout, but it did involve, as we see, the miss from Mick Hill.
Wasn't expecting that.
I was about to say that the 3-way 6-red shootout we saw did involve Gareth Potts. Not seen the best from Mick Hill so far tonight. Chances he's had. Okay, has not been absolutely simple, but was so used to seeing Mick Hill work out finishes like that and make them look easy. One tricky red here for Stevie Dempsey. The one at the bottom of the table as we look from the overhead on the right-hand side from the main camera doesn't have its natural home in the top right-hand corner. I wonder if he's got any angle to do anything with it now. No, I think he is too straight. Yeah.
You're dealing with 2 players here who would have been the most disappointed of the 4 in the first round of matches. Yes, Stevie got the draw, and obviously so did Gareth, but as we noted at the end of that match, Gareth had a beaming smile on his face. He was delighted to come away with the draw following how that match went.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Gareth, like we were in the commentary box, was expecting Stevie just to get on that 8-ball nice and simply, knock it in, and leave Gareth basically a break at a golden break to tie things up. So it looks like it's going to be the double for Stevie. I don't know if he's quite on it here. I think he could make it. He'd have to hit it pretty firm. I think he could have done with another roll down the table. Oh, that's beautiful. He was actually, the fact he was higher on it meant he could play it in that way, get the cue ball coming down the table. Will take nothing away from the execution of this shot. Has to avoid the double kiss, which he does. Okay, he's not perfect on the next ball because it's coming down the table, but he can give himself a shot at the last red. the end didn't risk trying to get too close to it, and now this is a big shot in this match.
Penny for the thoughts. Stevie Dempsey then with this 8-ball for 1-0. And he crunches it home. Oh, I did think tonight would be an interesting night. So far it has certainly not disappointed in that sense. And, oh, great to see the main man is back in town. The Aussie, Jake McCartney, is back in the UK on the waters, which must mean that he's due to be back in action soon. The health kick begins.
Yeah.
And, well, great to see Jake back in the UK. And he's very, very keen to get back on the table. He'll be in action next week in the rearranged group stage. Great week coming up next week. Actually, Craig Waddingham also in action, and he'll be with us at the Pro Series in a couple of weeks' time as well. Really infectious character is the Aussie. We've all missed him, and he was hoping to be back a little bit sooner, but I'm sure it'll be worth the wait. We'll see and hear plenty more of him next week on Free Sports, but he's got best seat in the house to take in tonight's action, mind.
He has indeed. Chatted to him earlier, and he's going to be doing quite a bit of back and forth between here and Australia over the next few months. He's also been injured as well, a problem with his ankle or his leg.
Oh, we'll talk more about that next week, I'm sure.
Certainly will.
That's someone who's definitely not hoping for a 6 red shootout.
Yeah, because he may well be playing in a cast. Time will tell.
Wanted to slide, but he's had an okay nudge.
Reasonable layout this is for Stevie. Just needs to work it out.
Extension call.
He's having to do a bit of a reroute because of that cannon. But he's got options here.
Yeah, I quite like the way he's gone here. So he's going to leave the one by the 8-ball. He's going to take this one into the left centre now, the one above it. Get himself past right-hand side is straight on the one at the top of the table to play on the one on the left-hand side. And everything then connects up. So as you say, it was a reroute, but he took his time to work out the reroute.
He could use that yellow really handily there, just to hold the cue ball in pretty good position.
I actually think the yellow may have just gone into a slightly awkward position because he's a little bit straighter on this than he probably wanted to be. And if he was trying to force it across, he's now got to avoid the yellow. Might have to use the top of cushion.
Yeah, I think he is. It's still not a problem for him.
See the amount of left-hand side he had to play that with. It was almost straight, hit the top cushion and zip to the left-hand side. But beautiful. Couldn't pick it up with his hand and put it much better than he's got it. I love the way Stevie's gone about this. You know, he just took his time to rework things out and keep it simple. Slight grimace on his face tells me he doesn't like the angle he's got here.
Yeah, is he worried he's going to go into the 8-ball a bit? He's not straight for sure.
I think the natural's taking him into it. Yeah, there you can see he wanted to be a lot straighter. He's controlled the cannon reasonably well.
Tougher pot than he would have loved, but should still be no problem. And with half the match to go, this for a 2-0 lead. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. Stevie Dempsey then with the upper hand here against Mick the Machine Hill. And we mentioned next week's group, which will feature the Aussie, Jake McCartney. It will also feature Craig Waddingham, John McAllister and Jason Taggart. A really, really good group, that. As I say, this was the rearranged Group 15. We swapped the last 16 Group 3. Yeah, that works out. So we've already seen that. Christophe Lambert already in finals night alongside Tom Cousins. And one of these gents will have the chance to play 2 weeks in a row, as following that will be last 16 Group number 4, which will include one of those gentlemen.
Be a good time to find some form, because they could end up playing 3 weeks in a row.
Well, of course, yeah. Hell of a break that from Mick Hill. Hell of a break that.
Well, this is where we get to find out what Mick's got, because right now he is on the edge of being knocked out of this tournament. 2-0 down again. Cannot afford to lose this match, can barely afford to draw it. Needs to find a finish and get some form, and they're all there for him. These are the sorts of layouts where Mick just, you're so used to him making this look just simple, as easy as the game can possibly get. It's not as easy as he makes it look often, but he'll hope to try and make it easy here. Shade straighter might have been better, but it's probably straight enough. Use the cushion. Yeah, nicely done.
Simple as you like this from Mick Hill. Built off the back of a big break. Really fast clearance. 8 minutes and 5 seconds still to come. Clock won't stop in the match at this point. We're not in that final 5 minutes. So it was definitely in Mick's interest there to rifle that clearance in as quickly as he could. It's in his interest here for referee Scott Price to rack them up as quickly as he can to get us back underway. Mick Hill is still in with a chance here. Stevie Dempsey is a long way from out the woods just yet. All results still very much possible.
Stevie's done everything that's asked of him so far in this match. 2 visits to the table, 2 clearances, 2-1 up. He'll be hoping for more of the same.
Gets a ball.
And he'll love this split. He will absolutely love this split. Both colour sets, every single ball goes, every single ball in the open. May not have an opening on reds. Might be able to get through the gap of the yellows and take reds. If he does take yellows, then the yellow that's alone at the bottom of the table is a problem.
Don't think he's still flushing the break yet, is Stevie. It's not again on the cue ball there on that replay, and it's still spinning like a top, really. He's not got perfect contact yet, because when he does, he's an absolutely devastating breaker. He's still just doing enough, though, with it. He's in a great position here, mind.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out when he's going to come down for the yellow at the bottom of the table. It's just, whenever you've got a ball away from the rest of your work, it doesn't fit any sort of pattern. There's no connection to it. That's the kind of way to look at it. So he needs to figure it out, and it absolutely does not want to be his last ball when you look at the position of the 8 ball. So
I think the way it's looking at the minute is it's going to be second last ball.
I'm surprised he's taken this one. I thought this might be his last ball. I thought that might be the board he'd play on after the one at the bottom of the table, but it won't be.
I didn't think he had any other option. The two yellows that he had there were blocking each other to pockets, and
He might be playing quite tight gaps here. Yeah, he's playing tight gaps, because if he can get the cue ball back, what, 6 inches, he can take the yellow to the top left and get to the right-hand side of the 8 ball. There you go.
yeah, I like that. It's clever.
And you only make these sorts of patterns when you really see it all the way through that Stevie's done here. As I say, the obvious one for me was to leave the one 2 shots ago for your last ball, but oh, he's got it all wrong.
Oh, you heard the gasp. He can't believe it. He can't believe it. Well, it was Stevie Dempsey trying to eat his cue there, but it's Mick Hill who's been starving for a break, and he's got one.
I can't believe that. I really can't. All the hard work was done. I mean, okay, he's got to hit a gap, but the gap's not, you know, it's not a problem. He's only going to be moving the cue ball 3-4 inches. If he makes the pot there, he's on it.
That's the biggest surprise, is he's actually missed that on the wrong jaw almost.
And I was just absolutely raving about the route he's picked out. I thought it was lovely. I mean, to work that one out in that way was so nice. I mean, that's 2 matches on the trot where Stevie's essentially had match ball. Okay, that wasn't quite match ball, but it wasn't far off, and hasn't made it. Still time for both players to get more out of this match.
Oh, that could be a massive moment in the evening, that. It really could.
Yeah, I mean, imagine being 3-1 up with just under 4 minutes left would be, oh, it's huge, isn't it? 2-2 with 3.5 minutes is not so good. Low to right-hand side that time for Mick. He was a little bit short on position.
Simple 8 ball. 2-2. 3 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. Stevie Dempsey still thinking about it. How do you not? If you're going to miss this on a jaw, you'd expect it to be furthest left as we look at that replay, because he's maybe trying to force too much angle to get the cue ball back online. But to miss it straight is an aberration, really. You can't. You know, you just don't expect that at all.
I mean, he'd worked it out so well, and he was in the perfect position, because he didn't have to worry about, you know, say, forcing any angle. All he had to do was come back, you know, 3 to 6 inches. It was a, you know, decent window he was trying to hit there.
Is he going to get a ball? No. Well then, Stevie, an instant chance to reply. A frustrated Mick Hill stalks back to his chair. Will he get another chance in this frame? Or will Stevie Dempsey take it away from him?
Originally, I thought that might not have been the best of contacts there for Mick, but actually, look at the number of balls that flew into the top half of the table, and some of them come back down. Actually, there was a lot of power there in the pack. Just couldn't find a home with one of them.
So red's the choice. He's got to go into this cluster then, sooner rather than later.
And he'd love to avoid the red he's nearest to, so get the cannon on the yellow and the red. He got the first red, but that's going to work out.
Yeah, he'll take that. He'll take that all day.
So next problem, turn your attention to the bottom of the table. Where's the 8 ball going?
Can he look to play the cue ball into that yellow, maybe? Play a clever tactical shot and free up that pocket.
He wouldn't be on the next ball, though. That opens up the red at the bottom. That was a slight problem, because that yellow was blocking the potting angle. If he was thinking about a double on the 8 ball, that may have just blocked the double to the corner. I think you leave the other red at the bottom of the table, yeah, and use that one to to get onto the 8 ball or play on it as a double. Yeah, the yellow that he's moved is just in an awkward position. Whichever way he tries to go about it.
Yeah, this is far from done, folks. Needs to be a really good couple of shots here.
Beautiful positional shot. Rakes of right-hand side. So hits the top cushion, straightens up. Beautiful.
There's one good positional shot. Needs another.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, what a clearance this is. And the chips were down. And Stevie's going to use every second of this match clock. He's going to wait for the beeps. And gets the job done. He gives Mick Hill just under a minute with which to work.
How classy was that? With everything else that's gone for Stevie Dempsey in this night so far, missing this chance to win this first match against Gaz.
Such good mental fortitude.
Yeah, missing the previous finish when it looked like he was going to go 3-1 up. To respond and come up with that finish at that time. 2 or 3 beautiful positional shots there at the end. Absolutely fantastic. And putting Mick in a position where he is, well, may not get back to the table, but even if he does, he needs 2 frames, not 1. A draw does not really help Mick Hill. And that will be that, I'm sure.
That cue ball zipped off that front ball, didn't it?
Extension call.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, wow. Towel's been thrown in.
quite literally, actually, from Mick Hill, just as you're watching that replay. Stevie Dempsey, therefore, will take the win. Mick Hill concedes. And Stevie Dempsey rumbles on with his Champions League quest. It's all over for Mick Hill, though. He can no longer qualify, but he is still a formidable opponent for Gareth Potts in the 3rd round of fixtures tonight. Next up, though, is a massive match between Gareth and Dan Eaton-Lees. Do stay with us.